I am here with Alisa at her house, where I'm not supposed to be. And I woke Alisa up, and I have been holding her against her will.
On March 11th, 2017, after midnight, Trevor Summers crawled through the window of his estranged wife Alisa's home and later entered her bedroom and began dripping water on her face as she slept. Alisa woke up startled.
And I felt my face was wet, and I started screaming, "Who's in my room? What are you doing here?" I'm in a panic, an absolute panic.
Alisa and Trevor had been going through a difficult divorce and were living in separate houses outside Tampa, Florida.
Trevor Summers wanted control. He controlled Alisa, and he controlled his children.
The couple met in high school, married several years later, and had 5 children. Their eldest daughter, Arden, and her 4 siblings had been staying with Trevor.
My dad had sat me down and discussed reconciling with my mom and fixing the marriage and bringing our family back together.
But Trevor's plan ended up going much further than Arden could have ever imagined.
He wanted me, my younger siblings, to go over to my mom's house and spend the night, and then I would let my dad in the window after my siblings and my mom went to bed.
Trevor drove to Alisa's house with their 12-year-old son Landon in the car. Meanwhile, Arden left a window open at Alisa's house so Trevor could enter the home when he arrived. Arden then waited in Trevor's car, hoping the family would soon all be reunited. Alisa was asleep next to her 7-year-old daughter Bryn and 5-year-old son Grady. That's when she was suddenly awakened.
I just start in full panic throwing things from my end table at him. And he grabbed my ankles and pulled me off the end of the bed.
This must be terrifying.
It's terrifying. Bryn and Grady are running out of my room screaming, "Daddy, Daddy, don't kill Mommy."
At around 5 a.m., Trevor told Arden to drive Landon, Bryn, and Grady back to his house and wait. At 14 years old, Arden's only driving experience had been in a parking lot.
It was very terrifying. I was doing exactly the speed limit, and I just followed all the traffic laws to not get pulled over.
Once the children were out of the house, that's when it even escalated further. He threw me onto my bed and took these scarves and wrapped me, my hands, my wrists together. He is tying me to the bed frame with the Christmas lights and crisscrossing them across my body to hold me down.
Trevor then explained to Alisa why he was there.
I came to say goodbye. I am leaving. I've chartered a boat. I'm going out into international water, and I'm going to disappear.
She says over the course of several hours, Trevor sexually assaulted her twice.
Did he have any kind of a weapon on him?
He did. A razor blade.
Trevor used her thumb to unlock her phone, left the room, and recorded this video.
I am here with Alisa at her house. She's virtually unharmed. She's got a couple bruises today, but from tying her up.
At around 5:40 p.m., Trevor came back into the room.
He put a pillow over my face, and he pushed down with all of his upper body. And I thought about my kids, and I lost consciousness.
Alisa begged for her life, and in order to stay alive, agreed to leave with him. Alisa says Trevor then loaded her into the SUV with her hands tied. He then stopped at a nearby Walgreens. It had been the moment she was waiting for.
I pulled the door handle to open the door. And so I'm running and I'm stumbling through this parking lot. I could hear him coming at me and grab me.
Did he lift you off the ground?
Lift me off to the ground and pushed me back, got me all the way back into the car.
A Walgreens employee taking a smoke break noticed what was happening and called 911.
Some chick just ran out of the dude's car. Looked like her hands were tied, and she ran out of the car screaming, "Help me." And he just grabbed her and put her back in the car.
Law enforcement began a statewide search for the couple. Alisa says Trevor spent hours driving along back roads down the Tampa Bay coast. They stopped at a secluded rural area where they hid for over a day. Alisa says Trevor then sexually assaulted her 2 more times.
I just need to stay alive. I just need to stay alive.
On the morning of March 13th, Trevor drove to a resort area where they used to go as a family and pulled behind a dumpster. That's when Alisa says Trevor climbed into the back seat.
And a rope came over my head and came around my neck.
Is there any doubt in your mind what he's attempting to do at that moment?
No, he is killing me behind a dumpster. Suddenly, he's behind me and he lets go and he dove through the car, jumped into the driver's seat, and took off.
Trevor believed he had been spotted. Panicked, he pulled into this carport.
He pulls out the razor blade and he starts slitting his throat. I'm screaming at him to stop. And at this point then the police come up around, guns drawn, screaming.
Alisa remembers an officer helping her.
He puts me right into the front seat and he gets in and he takes off and goes down this road.
Just takes off and boom,
Boom,
you're out of here.
that fast. Suddenly, I'm saved. I've been pulled from hell.